What's good, team? Right now I'm bringing you guys another episode of the Explain series today, and on this week's episode I'll be explaining the Ancient Gear deck in detail and going over some of the archetype history. But before I get to the video, I'm going to start off by saying, yes, I know the ban list is out. My ban list video will be coming on Monday, and I would also like to tell you guys I finally made me a Twitter, so you can go on Twitter at Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh to find your boy. So once again, that's Twitter at Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh. Or not literally Yu-Gi-Oh! Innovation YGO. So now that I get that little disclaimer out the way, let's begin. The deck history. So the deck first appeared in the GX anime. It was played by the boss in the first season of GX, which was the school teacher. Some gay looking guy with purple lips. So he brought out 3 of them and still lost to Flame Wingman, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it first appeared in the GX anime. So it's about 10 years ago. And then I noticed it appeared in the 5Ds anime, and it also made an appearance in Arc 5 with these 2 brothers. I don't watch Arc 5, so you guys that watch Arc 5, you know what I'm talking about. The deck also has some competitive history as well, in the form of the deck Malefic Geartown. They use the top 8 regionals alive, and I believe it topped a few white sets as well. The way Malefic Geartown worked, you bring out the Ancient Gear Gadget Dragon, flip over Skill Drain, bring out a Malefic monster and just beat your opponent down, similar to a fashion that Monarchs do in today's meta. And a little less known history about the deck. The deck started off as Gadgets. Gadgets are the original archetype starting for this deck because all the Ancient Gear revolve around tributing Gadgets and getting their effects outside of Ancient Gear Golem, of course. So that's pretty cool because I don't think a lot of people know that. So it started off with Gadgets, and then the Ancient Gear Gadget Dragon and everything based their effects off of tributing Gadgets. So Gadgets contribute to this archetype, which is pretty cool because it gives the Gadgets a home. Now that I went over to the deck's history, I'm going to go to some of the deck's classic monsters and tell you guys my thoughts and opinions on them. The classics. Ancient Gearbox, 500 attack, 2000 defense. If this card is added from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except by drawing it, you can add 1 Earth Machine type monster with 500 attack and or defense from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gearbox. You can only use this effect of Ancient Gearbox once per turn. That was really good back in the Gear days. People used to use it with Gear Augur. They'll go into Gear X, search out Ancient Gearbox, search out Augur, and now they'll have an extra level 4 in their hand to pay with cards like Phoenix Wing Blast and use it as fodder to bring back Machine Fortress. So that's a pretty good combo card. And Ancient Gear Soldier and Ancient Gear Golem, I have these 2 as a classic because they're pretty much some of the first cards with the deck. Ancient Gear Soldier, pretty much the same thing as Gear Golem. Only difference is he doesn't trample and his attack is weaker. And obviously he's level 4 instead of being a level 8. Ancient Gear Golem, he tramples when he attacks and he can be special summoned. And they both have that Ancient Gear clause of when they attack, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. So overall, solid cards. These are grandfathers to the archetype, which is why I want to include these cards on the classic list. Plus Ancient Gearbox is just boss, so I had to have it on here as a classic. So now that I went over some of the classes with you guys, we're going to go over some of the new support because the shit is very fucking lit. Ancient Gear Wyvern. The deck finally got a Stratos. Level 4, Earth type monster, 1700 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Ancient Gear card from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Wyvern. Also, you can now set cards for the rest of the turn. You can only use this effect from Ancient Gear Wyvern once per turn, so pretty much you can't stack this effect, which is whatever. You don't need a normal summon him once anyway. If this card attacks, your opponent's monsters in their possession cannot activate their effects until the end of the damage step. So let's say, for example, if they have a flip effect monster, you can attack, they negate their flip effect monster. This card will be really good against decks like Sub-Terrors and Shut-Offs that's based around the flip effects. Plus it tutors out an Ancient Gear card, so that's really fucking good because you can search out Ancient Gear Box, I believe correctly. And then you can use Ancient Gear Box effect to search out something else, making a +1 to your hand. Really good, really techy. Next up on the list, Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Level 9, Earth monster, 3000 attack, 3000 defense. If this card is summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster, and if it attacks a defense with this monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this card was summoned by tributing a Gadget monster, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card attacks until the end of the damage step, your opponent can activate spells, traps, cards, and also their monster effects as well, pretty much. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacks and destroy 1 spell and trap card in the field. Now, you aren't going to be summoning this guy that much, but with that being said, with the card Geartown, which I'll be going over later in this video, you're going to bring him out and get his last effect, which is attacking with him, then in damage step, pop a spell trap card. Really good against Pendulum decks. It's pretty much a power crept version of Ancient Gear Golem, which is why I pretty much consider Ancient Gear this the granddaddy of the deck because it's one of the first cards in the archetype. Ancient Gear Hydra. 7 stars, Earth type monster, 2700 attack, 700 defense. At the end of the damage step, when this card that was tribute summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster battles an opponent's monster, but the opponent's monster was not destroyed by battle, you can banish the opponent's monster instead. If this card was tribute summoned by tributing a Gadget monster, it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. If an Ancient Gear monster you control attacks until the end of the damage step, your opponent cannot activate spell, traps, and their monster effects. So this is another solid card when they tribute the Ancient Gears and the Gadgets, so that's always a good thing. But the main reason why this card is going to be good once again is with Geartown. This is just another beat stick body you can abuse with Geartown and Skill Drain. So overall a solid card. It's level 7, so it can help you make things like Draco attack, which is very powerful in today's meta because who don't like rank 7s? I mean, Big Eye is also another great card. You can bring up this card by spamming out these to the field with Geartown. Next up, Ancient Gear Gadget. Now this is the card that got a lot of hype recently because it's like the original granddaddy to the Gadgets. If you look at his chest, he actually has red, yellow, and green, which is pretty damn cool. Earth type, level 4, 500 attack, 2000 defense, machine monster, of course. If this card is normal or special summon, you can declare one type, monster, spell, or trap this turn. If a monster you control attacks your opponent's cards, and if effects of that type cannot be activated until the end of the damage step once per turn, you can declare the name of one Gadget monster. This card becomes that card name until end phase. So this is really abusable with the original Ancient Gear Geartown Dragon, the one I showed you on the first screen, due to the fact that he has effects based on which gadget you tribute. I think if you tribute red, yellow, or green, you get different effects per gadget, which is really great, by the way. But the reason why this card is going to be good, because I believe if I read this effect correctly, once you bring him to the field, pretty much, you can call spell trap a monster, and then you can overlay with him, and that effect should still linger because it's worded just similar to the fashion of Abyss Dweller. If my ruling is wrong, let me know in the comment section down below, guys. I am not the best of rulings. If my ruling is right, essentially you can go Ancient Gear Gadget, machine dupe, call monster spell and traps, and get a good push for this turn. Really good, really powerful. Next up, Geartown. Now this is the card that makes the deck work. It's the card that pretty much put the deck on the map back in the day. Field spell, of course, both players can normal summon Ancient Gear monster for one less tribute. That part's not going to be relevant unless you're going to use the level 7 guy from earlier, but even he wasn't that great in my personal opinion. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Now that's the part that's going to be abusable in this deck due to the fact that you can play Geartown, set a Geartown from your hand, destroying the current Geartown you just played, and getting an Ancient Gear monster from your deck first turn, which allows you to set up for future plays with cards like Skill Drain and etc. Very powerful. In the Malefic Ancient Gear deck, this card was insane. Ancient Gear Catapult. Now this is one of the second best cards that the deck gained. If you control no monsters, target one face of card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. You can banish the card from your graveyard, then target one face of card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon an Ancient Gear token. You can only use the effect of Ancient Gear Catapult once per turn, and that turn alone. So essentially, when you have Geartown on the field and you control no monsters, you can play Geartown, play your Catapult, destroy both, bring out Ancient Gears. So that's an instant rank 9 because of the one guy's at level 9, I believe. Rank 7 because of the Hydra's level 7. So yeah, that's pretty combo with Geartown. And the effect, the graveyard effect is pretty good with Gadgets because you banish it, target effective card you control to destroy this person out of Ancient Gear token. If you destroy like a gold or silver gadget, you can bring out a gold or silver depending on which one you destroyed, of course, and you bring out the token. Then you contribute for your Hydra or your Reactor Dragon to get both of their main effects. So overall, Ancient Gear Catapult is going to be a solid card for the deck. Definite 3-up. Same thing for Geartown, of course. And I would say the big guys are 1-ups, if that, depending on what kind of build you want to go to. Now, non-archetype supporting cards. So what will be an explained series where I'll talk about the non-archetype supporting cards. Of course, Skill Drain is good in the deck because of shed off effects. Too bad it's at 1, by the way. Rival of the Warlords. The Malefic engine can still be relevant to the deck. Malefic Stardust can protect your field spells, which is really good because the Malefic Ancient Gear deck, it was based around shutting off the graveyard because it abused Necro Valley as well. So once you get done abusing your Geartowns, you bring out Necro Valley to shut the opponent off, and you bring out Malefic Stardust to protect the Necro Valley. So Malefics are really good. Necro Valley, like I just mentioned. Machine Duplication, of course. The Machina engine because of Machina Fortress and the recursion abilities with your Ancient Gearbox, and Gear Gain X because of the machine, and it helps combo the plays with the deck. Final thoughts on this deck. So the deck is definitely a classic. I'm definitely looking forward to the deck. It looks extremely fun with all the combo pieces with Geartown and Gear Catapult and etc. I believe on release date, because all of these new Ancient Gear cards will be released in a Ancient Gear starter deck that I don't believe it has been announced in the LCG. Correct me if I'm wrong once again. I just couldn't find any information on it. I believe off back the deck is going to be a solid tier 2 if built right. Hell, after reading most of these effects now, they might even be a solid tier 1, but there's no way to tell until the deck comes out in the States, because you know we have our own text and we're going to copy OCG, and yeah, shit might just get lit out here. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Just like last week, I want you to click in the right hand corner and vote for your next week's episode of the Explain series. So as I always tell you guys, if you're a new viewer to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe for more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. I upload 3 times a week. On Mondays to do my general discussions, on Wednesdays to do my top 10s, and on Fridays to do my Explain series where I explain decks and archetypes in detail. I do these videos because I truly believe in helping you guys become better players, and also do these videos because I truly believe in you guys helping me become a better player. This is Chris from Team Innovation, and I am signing out. Peace, guys, and stay innovative. Also, the reason why this video came out late is because I fucked up in the beginning of making the video. Originally, I shot the video, recorded it, I was uploading it to YouTube, and I forgot to add Hydra, one of the most important cards to the deck, in this video. So I had to scrap my original video and re-upload it. Shit can get real in the YouTube game, but I just want to explain myself because I rather upload quality than shit. So, Team Innovation signing out. Peace, guys, and stay innovative. Deuces. Plant format. So, goat and plants seem to be pretty popular amongst Yu-Gi-Oh players to play, and also the Dark Dragon format. So, you guys always play old formats that you guys used to love.